All right. Anyway, next. Yes. Good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon, friends. My topic is infrastructure in India. As we all know that in 90s, the one of the motto is that shelter, food, and clothes. From the three of them, the important one is shelter. Also, in 90s, that the poor peoples, mainly the middle class of the poor peoples, live in a like jhopdi made up of bamboos and many like rare type of grasses or grasses or usually trees help with the help of the trees. But nowadays, in the 20th, the infrastructure of India has developed many high. As we all know that the building infrastructure is mainly known as the building walls that the people living in the near people living in near societies or near buildings. As India has developed its infrastructure very good, and also in infrastructure, India has developed many uh, tourist likely buildings like Taj Mahal. India has made the many infrastructures like they help the Taj Mahal to stay new one like Red Fort, India Gate, many things. And one of the infrastructure build cities like Mumbai, Goa. The people like many countries tourists is attract toward the Goa's beaches and the hotels, many hotels. Right, infrastructure play a very important role also in tourism and a foreign investment also. And one of the important point in the infrastructure of India that poor peoples in India also develop a building a small shelter that they live in the flood time or earthquake time. And India engineers has also developing their technology in a very natural climatic situations like flood, earthquake, earthquake, and many more other natural hazards. They also develop like in Mumbai, as we know that the infrastructure of Mumbai is very good in the cities, in rich parts, but also in the poor states like where the people live is known as the like the poor people that usually there is a nali like infrastructure is not good like I like to say that the poor people is living also in a congested way. When the flood comes they the shelters run away as run away as that's all. I like to conclude my lecture. Thank you.
First thing, see, I always say when there is any lecturette session going on, please take a very good look at the chat, the topics which will be there. Okay, it will be a very important thing. Now, in your chat, you had topic like mobile phones. Probably you would have been very easily able to speak on it for 3 minutes, but you chose a topic about which you are not even having good understanding, leave alone knowledge. So what comes under infrastructure? Shelter, Jhopadi, Taj Mahal, Red Fort? No, they are not a part of infrastructure. What comes under infrastructure? Roads, highways, tunnels, bridges, your local as well as interstate or intercity transport system. All these together form what is called infrastructure. So you could have spoken about how till mid again, things go back to mid 90s, because after liberalization things did change a lot. So before that, if you talk to your parents, they will tell you that the condition of roads in our country, if they have traveled, your father was in army, so he probably would have traveled, you can ask him, were very poor. It was post liberalization that things started changing in a positive way, and India came up with some really big projects. You could have given one or two examples. For instance, you have that Bandra Worli Sea Link in Mumbai. It's a mammoth infrastructure project executed very nicely. You could have spoken about that. Then the bridge which we have built on Brahmaputra, one of the longest, you could have spoken about that. The tunnels we have built in JNK, you could have spoken about that. The Char Dham route we are constructing, the national highways we have constructed. Nitin Gadkari, our honorable minister for road and transport, he has done a very good job. Whole world is praising him. So you could have spoken about that, that our power grids were not good, this was not good, that was not good. And in recent times, we have worked to change it. So probably a few things you could have spoken on that front. Then you could have come down to the positive aspect of it. So what is the positive aspect of it? Increased connectivity means a person from a village can easily reach city for an emergency work like medical treatment, for economic kind of transactions, for business. Okay, so that aids a lot. Then the downside, what kind of examples you could have given on the downside is, in your hunger for development, you unintentionally cause a lot of harm to environment at times, as is now visible in Joshimath. Okay, blind development we have done, and due to it now we have one whole town which is about to disappear. It was being warned right from 1930s that you shouldn't do this, the town will disappear one day or the other. The land is very soft, fragile. So that is happening. And today we know the reasons. You had Tehri Dam constructed, you have other mega projects coming up in Uttarakhand, the underground tunnels which are being constructed by NTPC, those are the major reasons. Scientists even say that the 4-lane highway we are constructing to connect those Char Dhams, because of its black color, the kind of heat it will absorb, even that is too sensitive for that ecology environment. So you could have spoken about that, that is infrastructure. Our power grids being old result in a loss of somewhere between 10 to 17% of electricity. So these are the kind of points you should bring. Mobile phones you should have chosen, you could have easily spoken on it, how it has evolved, what are the uses, what are the negative things. You chose infrastructure, no good. Anyway, next.